put a strong focus on the Tools API, which lets you build plugins and extensions for the IDE, and we add new APIs often to let you build whatever you want to build, and through that we've seen some pretty cool things. You can do almost anything with it that we can internally. For example, to go back a few releases, when we added Delphi LSP, we added a new asynchronous code completion API, which the LSP implementation was built on. And that means that if you ever wanted to implement code completion yourself, asynchronously and in a modern style, you could, using the same APIs that we used to build that. Similarly, we recently added comprehensive support for painting in the code editor, as well as getting information about the code editors and what's on screen. And in 12.0, we've continued to evolve that. You can now query more information about each line, such as if it has a blue dot or some other general line status, or each cell, which is each character effectively, such as if it's part of SyncEdit. This means that, if you wanted to, you could fully custom paint the editor, and it certainly means that any markup or additions you want to add can be done with access to full information. We also added new APIs for reading and writing to the editor. These are useful if you want to write a plugin that edits code in the editor, or read what's on screen, or read what's under the text cursor, or similar. Now we had, and still have, existing APIs to read and write the contents of the editor buffer, but they provided a file-like interface, so you had to read or write a lot to get to where you wanted. The new APIs are more low-level, and support random access to read or write a random line, and they are much faster. If you have plugins in mind that want to access the contents of the editor for any reason, we strongly recommend checking out the new APIs in version 12. Finally, there's just a bunch of miscellaneous improvements, things like getting the token at the current editor caret, or helping you set up the IDE title bar in your plugin windows, or giving access to the same message dialogues the IDE uses, a whole bunch of general quality, and more. As always, we really want to encourage you to experiment with the Tools API. Write some plugins and see what you can do. You can do anything.